Welcome back to the Repro Show. Doug here, and we are talking about a ROM hack of Super Mario World that replaces its Italian protagonist with a mascot from a completely different game series. Today we're talking about Super Pika Land Vanilla Edition. And just so you know, we are doubling up on reviews today, so if you want to see my review on the Chocolate Edition, check that out right here. Super Mario World is one of the most, if not the most, frequently hacked games in console gaming. There are so many ways to play with the assets and mechanics of it, and amazing creative works have come out of the hacking community. It's been hacked so much that Nintendo just threw their arms up in the air and gave us Super Mario Maker so they could at least profit off of it, so cool, guess we win. As a result though, there usually needs to be something that sets the hack apart for it to stand out in the crowd. In this case, hacker Dunayer Dunayer 98 replaced Mario with the most famous Pokemon, Pikachu. The story is that this aforementioned Pikachu has accidentally found himself lost in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that's really about it. So basically the same amount of story that's in a typical Mario platformer. The primary change to this hack is the change of Mario into Pikachu. Pikachu remains short when he gets power-ups, but he does get more powerful. When getting this green crystal, he becomes Raichu. Then, when he gets this lightning bolt, he gains the ability to blast lightning bolts, just as Mario would with a fire flower. The difference is that this lightning just blasts straight ahead and does not fall or bounce like Mario's fire blast. Most of the other assets remain unaltered, and Pikachu has to battle most of Mario's common enemies such as Goombas, Koopas, Chargin' Chucks, and Piranha Plants. Visually, the levels look pretty much in line with Super Mario World, though the level design itself has its own distinct look. Most of the assets are the same, but the structure doesn't feel like a Mario game. It's structured so differently from those original level designs that it looks foreign. Instead of Yoshi coins, there are 5 Pokeballs to get per stage, but they function the same. Getting them is just a bonus, and if you get all 5 in a single stage, it's an extra life. There are pieces of music sourced from several other Nintendo games. Primarily there are some from Yoshi's Island and a 16-bit version of the Cutman stage from the first Mega Man. It's all part of what gives this game a unique flavor that stands out from Super Mario World. Unfortunately, I am not the most well-versed in classic gaming tracks, so a few of these I don't know where they're from. If you know, let me know in the comments down below. If you know how to pilot Mario, you know how to pilot Pikachu. The physics and controls are the same. He runs, jumps, spin jumps, just as usual. However, there is no Yoshi and there is no cape equivalent in this one. You can of course get into tighter spaces since you don't grow when you get a power-up, so you don't have to choose between power-ups and getting certain secrets. Not that it comes up much. There is thankfully a battery save, though it is a downgrade from the Mario World system. You only get one save file, so you can't have multiple games on the go at a time. That's a bummer if you share your Super Nintendo with somebody and don't want to overwrite anyone else's game. And unfortunately, save locations are far fewer than Mario World as well. There are no ghost houses, and I haven't been able to find any secret areas that function as save stations. So it's up to you to beat a castle if you want to save your progress. And that's a drag, particularly since the castles tend to be quite challenging. A lot is on the line when you finally get to one. The hack starts well enough with levels that show a lot of creative design choices. The level designs reflect a bit more of a 3D way of thinking. It's still very much a 2D platformer, but there's a lot more playing with layers in the foreground, hiding passageways and exits. It just makes you use your brain in a slightly different way than the original Super Mario World did, which was often more obvious and linear. It shows that they knew the assets of the game very well to build these levels in a more complex way. But the design never overshadows its playability. You can usually work out what you need to do without many cheap gotcha moments, though there are a few. The difficulty curve is fairly steep though, as the hack spikes and challenge not very far into the game at all. The castles are especially difficult, which is understandable and would be fine if, as I mentioned before, they weren't the only way to save your progress. What I had to do pretty often was, as I started a game, I would wander down to an earlier level and just gather up tons of 1-up mushrooms and stock up on tons of lives because I knew that it would take more than 5 lives to make any progress and get through to a save point. This method worked for a little while up until I got to World 4, then suddenly I hit a difficulty wall. Each stage was a challenge, some more than others, but when paired together without the option of saving at your disposal, you wind up having to set aside a fair bit of time to get anywhere. Now, this would be fine if I played with save states or whatever, but as I've mentioned before, I judge these games as if I was playing them on a cart on a real system, because that's how I'm playing them. so it's a bit too hard because of the save limitations. Otherwise, it's not Kaizo level difficult. Super skilled Mario World players should fare very well here. But also, I'm no rookie and I find it just a bit too difficult. What I will say is when you do beat a very hard level and you finally are able to progress, it does feel really good to win. It gets those victory endorphins pumping. But truthfully, more often I would be frustrated, especially when having to beat the same levels again and again just to get back to where I was before. The solution is so simple though. Just let me save my progress. Not too much to report here, but be careful in this very early swimming level. If you die after getting a checkpoint, something glitches when you re-enter, causing you to die immediately. Yeah, that's no fun. Super Pika Land Vanilla Edition is a fun and often clever hack that has great level design and a gimmick that can bring in many curious Nintendo fans. That being said, having a lack of accessible save points really hinders it from being an approachable hack for fans who are not experts at Super Mario World. But experienced Mario fans who are looking for a challenge might actually find a lot to like here. So in the end, I have to give Super Pika Land, the Vanilla Edition, 3.5 out of 5 Rampaging Pikachus. That's a game worth playing. Thank you so much for watching the Repro Review Show. We'll see you next time.